Hey everyone, welcome back. My name's Kat and I want to welcome you to Kat's Creations live on Friday night at 5, where today we are making a wreath inspired by a trip to the lake. So some of you, like when we do beach wreaths all the time, we don't necessarily think that not everyone has access to a beach. A lot of you are landlocked, so lakes are your option for summer vacation. And some of my great memories are from summer vacations at the lake. So today we're doing a lake-themed wreath. We're using a sign that my daughter picked up for me a couple years ago. It's a lake roll sign. It's a 11 by 8, came from Target. So that is the central focus on this particular design. I'm trying to think of what else. Housekeeping rules. So if you like this design and you want to recreate it, maybe once you get a sign, but you like the ideal color palettes, this would make for a really great nautical wreath as well. You can click the share button. The share button will put this video on your page. That way, when you have everything ready, you already have all the designs done, so you don't have to go searching for it. If you want to be notified when we go live, you're going to want to make sure that your live notifications option is turned on Facebook. With all the changes that Facebook does, a lot of times it resets things back to default. And default for most of us is our live notifications are turned off. So what you want to do, if you have your phone, your tablet, you're going to want to click on this video, which is just tap the video. You should be able to hit the 3 little dots in the upper right-hand corner. Once you do that, it opens up a little menu within the live itself, and you get the option to turn live notifications on. Which reminds me, I don't know if my live notifications are off or on.
On the tablet?
On my tablet, because we just redid the router and everything, so sometimes things reset. So just make sure, if you're not getting notified, I get that question all the time, how come I'm not getting notified when you go live? Just go ahead and just double check that. So just tap on your video. You're going to tap those 3 little dots. And if it says turn off live notifications, it means that they're on for you, so you're good. Also, if you're on YouTube and you want to be notified whenever we upload a video, just make sure you hit the subscribe bell, which is in the upper right hand corner for you. That will let you notify whenever we upload a new video. If you're new, let us know where you're from. We'd like to welcome you. A lot of times connections are made during Facebook Lives. And I think that's it. So we're ready to go. And
welcome all. Happy Friday. Feel free to like and share.
Absolutely. So people always ask me, why do you color coordinate your pipe cleaners? Is there some method to this? Sometimes there is. If I'm using like 3 different color mesh, I might color coordinate these to know where white goes and beige goes and blue goes. In this case, they just kind of go with the theme that I'm using, which is blue, white, and beige for this particular wreath. This is a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. I'm going to show you how you wire it. I usually do the 5. That way you don't have to watch me do all of them. And what you're going to do is take your pipe cleaner. In each section, you have these weld marks. You're going to go ahead and notice that there are 4 rings. You're going to take your pipe cleaner, put it right in the middle of the first 2 rings. That's going from the one closest to the center and the next one out. And you're going to wire those together. Does this look right? Yeah, I think so. I'm like looking at the colors. They're kind of, yes, it's right. Okay. And then what you're going to do is use this center one and your weld mark, and you're going to go and wire together the outer 2, just like so. And you just give them a couple twists. What this does is it creates stability in your pipe cleaners, and then they don't move as easily as if they were just secured to one. This is just my standard layout. This is not like rule of thumb that everybody has to do it this way. So if you found a way that works better for you, by all means, go for it. This just works for me on this particular design. Now, the mesh came from Kringle Designs. Kringle Designs, it's Kringle with a K. So kringledesigns.us. Steve's going to go ahead and pin that for you. They came out with this, I want to say 2 years ago. It's a navy and a cream. I use these on almost everything from beach wreaths to nautical to lake to like an ocean, patriotic. It's a really good all-purpose mesh. This is a fabric mesh, which means you cannot cut it with a wood burning tool. You have to use your rotary cutter. These are going to be cut to 20-inch pieces. So on an average roll of Deco mesh, you should be able to get all 18 pieces, and it will use up an entire roll of Deco mesh, which is great, because the one thing I wish I would have learned is what techniques can you use on, using Deco mesh that won't leave you with a lot of leftovers. Because I have an entire shelf in my closet dedicated to leftovers.
Okay, so I pinned the link to the bottom, so they should just be able to click on the link and it takes it right to them.
Awesome, thank you for doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my inner ones as I get to them. That's just to expedite and make things easier for me. I kind of, in my mind, already know how this is going to go. So the 6 on the inside are going to be covered by the sign and the bow. So we're just doing a ruffle method, which means kind of find a center point. I use my scissors just to hold the mesh down so it doesn't roll back up on me. And I'm doing the finished edges to the inside and outside. Some people will say north and south, east or west. I guess it would be north and south. This way, your cut edges are like facing each other. They're like side by side. Let's get this all going. Hi, Jolene. Thanks. This is my throw it up because I don't like what my hair's doing hairstyle. So it's like you wake up and you have those, I don't know, weird hairstyles in the morning where you're like, I don't know what happened while I slept. So you just kind of pull it up to get your morning going. So I'm playing catch up this week, trying to get all my business classes done because I've kind of taken a little break and I got into the creative mode and I started making a bunch of wreaths this week. So that's where we're headed.
Yep, stocking your shop back up.
Stock in the shop. So this is what I was saying right now. This is almost the end of April. So people always ask me, well, what should I be stocking up? What should I be working on? So if you think of the retail stores, what are the retail stores stocking right now? Everybody's getting ready for summer. So patio furniture is coming out. Trying to think of, like, what do we see when we're walking around? A lot of beach stuff. Like I went to Joann's. Joann's has all their beach decor out. Anything that has to do with the garden is all coming out. So I would be anything red, white, and blue, if you can find it. Get all your patriotic going now. We've got Memorial coming up the last day of May. And then most people, if they purchase their patriotic wreath, those will be the wreaths that stay up on their front door until they're ready to make the fall change. So they'll either go fall or they'll go Halloween. So that's what we will be working on, is we will finish our summer inventory here in the next month. And then we will start adding in Christmas, believe it or not. Because there's a lot of people who celebrate Christmas in July. Maybe they can't get together with their families during the holidays, so they do that break. And it's always good to have something in your shop, just in case.
Okay, the video, it does look a little more like it's blue and white rather than blue and cream, but it is an off-white.
Yeah.
It's not a true white.
Well, if you compare the pipe cleaners that are true white, they're just a shade or two off from the Deco mesh cream. So I don't know if you guys can see that. It's just a shade down. So I love this mesh. So as soon as I found it, because Craft Outlet and the Wreath Shop, a lot of the vendors have been out of this color. So when I saw it at Crinkle, I was like, gotta stock up. That's 4th of July, nautical, beach, lake. You could even do this country Christmas. Just add just a pop of silver to it, maybe.
Tanya, she asked, how do I join your private group? I just replied back to you with the link to go to the www.KatsCreationsNMore.com, and you can click on either the monthly or the yearly subscription. Well,
there's a couple options when you go to the website. And this is what I want to caution some of you, because I get this asked all the time. The Wreath of the Month group that's up there is perfect for people who just want to focus on one design the entire month. So that's a $10 a month group. You get the option to purchase an exclusive kit. I think earlier today I'd shared what the April kit looks like. May's kit is actually beach. And I've seen the sign, so we're working on coordinating the colors. And so when I'm helping to pick out the ribbon colors and the mesh, I always look for things that can be used for other holidays. So we're not just pigeonholed into like a beach theme ribbon. So that's all you can use it for is beach theme. So we look for how can you blend this with other holidays. So
all the pieces are cut to 20 inches.
And then there's an option to join the private group, and that's the $17 a month group. It gives you 4 design tutorials every month, plus the business classes. Those are 4 classes every Monday. The design classes are every Sunday at 3. Replays are always available. You get instructions for every public and private wreath tutorial, because I get them all the time on YouTube. Can you give us the instructions and where you get everything? That's part of the perks in that private group is you can download the materials list, which a lot of members like, and then they just shop off of the list. Makes it super simple. Plus, you get access to my video library. And I'm still in the counting phase, trying to figure out how many videos we've actually uploaded there. So both of those are available on the website. What other questions do you guys have that I can answer for you?
Gina asked, I wish Hobby Lobby would put their 4th of July stuff at 40% off.
That won't be anytime soon.
They won't do that till right before 4th of July.
Yeah, about 2 weeks before the 4th of July. And then it'll probably go to just 40%. And then it won't be until after that it'll drop to anything more. And Hobby Lobby, for the most part, is pretty limited on what they will carry. Signs, you can incorporate the ribbons and deco mesh. Not so much. They won't really have much out there for wreath makers. Now, the little styrofoam balls that everybody likes that we call the scatters and fillers, those usually come out. It's usually about $4.99 for a bag, just average price. Those are great to pick up because you can use those all year round. And those are what you want to stockpile. Did you want water? Because I noticed the water's just sitting in the...
Yeah,
that's like a first. I look over the fridge, there's a cup just sitting there, and I was like, I was like, I got sidetracked by something.
Yeah.
So, Now this particular mesh, since you cannot cut it with a wood burning tool because it has the cotton fibers in it, it will fray. So the way that you can cut down on the fraying is you can buy a spray adhesive. It's called E6000. It's an adhesive spray. It's like watered down glue. It won't leave your design hard or crunchy, and it will help. It doesn't prevent them. It just helps hold whatever fibers are there to prevent it from fraying less. You can still pull on it and pull them out. So it's not like something that would just keep them in. So if you're going to spray them, get your entire design finished, and then after that, come in, trim everything down. So wherever it's fraying, just go ahead and trim those frays up, and then spray it with the E6000 spray. Let it dry because it has to dry for 24 hours.
And that's a question I'll ask Kat, but normally she tells her private group on that. She said, question about shipping. How do you get an ongoing deal on shipping? I shipped a wreath to New Hampshire from California. It was $60.
So the question I would have for you is, what size box did you ship the wreath in? Generally, you should be able to ship that for New Hampshire.
California, that's all the way across.
Yeah, I'm thinking like between 31 and 35 if it goes in a 24-6 box. Anything bigger than that, you're going to hit what's called a balloon rate. So if you put it in a 24 8-inch box, balloon rate, it's going to automatically hit the $60 price range plus. So yeah, there are some tips I can give you. So come join the private group. I'd be happy to help you get your shipping under control, because I know.
She said 20 by 20 by 8. Probably could have fit it in a 6-inch deep box.
No, it should have cost you somewhere, I'm guessing, 2028. New Hampshire to California, I'm trying to think. Maybe like 25 to 27 is about what I could probably help you get the shipping rates down to. So for wreath makers, U.S. Post Office is not the way to go. You're going to have to find an alternative source. They kind of just joined with everybody else that said, hey, if you're shipping something in a 24 by 24 by 6-inch box, it should weigh 22 pounds. Yeah, but it doesn't. We don't care. It takes up that much space in our trucks, so we're going to charge you the rate that it would if it really did weigh that much, which isn't fair to us, but it got anyone who ships in oversized packaging got hit with that balloon rate. And that was January 23rd. Was it 2019? I think it was 2019.
Yeah, and it said USPS was 60, UPS and FedEx were 65. So yeah, you'll definitely need Kat's help.
Yeah, we
Join
can
the private group.
Yeah, we can get you down to about half that cost. So not that hard to do at all. And then because I think that takes the heart out of it, right? When you're starting to look at shipping costs like that, because nobody wants to pay that. Customer doesn't want to pay that. Yeah. I remember when we were faced with that, I was like, well, there went wreath making. So you just have to dig deep and you have to look for some alternatives. And thankfully there are some. So that keeps you crafting and still in business.
A lot of gals said they got their kits today.
I know. I think the kits will be shipping. We have a few people that are getting them tomorrow as well. So don't forget, those of you that are in the Wreath of the Month group, we're not doing the tutorial tomorrow, which was what's scheduled. And that's what came in the kit boxes, just because they were delayed based on supply and demand. So we're pushing it out until the following Saturday. That way, make sure that everybody has their kits. So Saturday, May 1st. So this is the base method you get. I have a little bit of frays, but not anything that would just like cause great concern. So what we're gonna do right now is, let's see this piece just sticking out. Let's go ahead and get our bow made. Then we'll attach our sign, and then we'll go ahead and finish the embellishment part. So I'm going to use my bow dab wrap. So you'll need your bow dab wrap and whatever ribbons you want to incorporate in your design. And I am going to pull all these out. Make sure I have them all.
Yeah, that's always a great thing. She said the other day USPS weighed a box, but they failed to measure it, and they only charged her $13.70 to go all the way to Maryland.
Yeah, that will not be the case in the future. So yeah, that's those rare exceptions to the rule, and thankfully it worked out the best for you. So as you can see, I have just enough, which is going to get me a bow for the 2.5 inch. So where did everything come from? This 2.5 inch diagonal plaid came from the Wreath shop. The 2.5 inch with the navy and the beige came from Michael's. The 1.5 inch Swiss dot on navy, this was Craft Outlet. The beige with the polka dotted circles was from 5th Street Studios. The navy and white stripe, Craft Outlet, and then the water wave print. This was from Joann's back in 2019. So odds are this is no longer available. It'd be hard to come by, which is always really good when ribbon goes out of season. You kind of stock up on those ahead of time, and then you have exclusive ribbon for your designs. Not so good when you run out, you really need one more piece. So we're going to dovetail the edges. So that just means take the wired edges, put those together. You're going to take your scissors and cut as far up on the folded side, creates that depth in your V. If you want shallow V, don't go up so high. I like mine pretty deep. So that just gives you a really nice dovetail. And I'm going to go with 10 inches. And then using the bow dabra, it's always going to be twist. So we start with right side fabric facing you. Twist it so you've got wrong side fabric here. And then we're going to do a 5.5 inch loop. So I always bring my bow dabra back to the 10. This way I can look down and measure out my tails and make sure my tails are 5.5 inches, or loops, sorry. Loops. So 5.5, and then we'll stretch this out and then dovetail this one.
Jolene said, I need a bow holder to make bows. That's what's great about the bow dabra, is it holds your bows for you.
Yeah, as you can see, I can stop. You know, if I had to walk away for a moment, then I can. This one's going to be tight, but I measured everything, so it looks like we'll have just enough. So this one's going to be at 9.5 inches. We're going to twist. We're going to do 2 loops at 5 inches. And I have to be pretty precise if I want to make sure that I have enough ribbon. Because according to my pre-measurement measurements, and I do, look, that is like insane. And I was like, it's so pretty, I want to be able to put that in. I had just enough for my tails and to make the bow. Okay, now we're going to come in with the Swiss dot. Do the same thing. I love Swiss dot. I think I have Swiss dot in almost every single color. Because yeah, I think I do. So this one's going to be at 9 inches. 4.5 inch loops. Okay.
Kate said, I love my Bodabra, although I have other bow makers. Yeah, that's your favorite too.
Yeah, I have other ones too. This one's just nice for me because this is what I learned on. It's what I'm most comfortable with. And I use it for everything else. I use it for making curls, for making my angels. It's just an all-purpose extra set of hands when you don't have an extra set of hands at home. So you can just put everything in it and then you're good. Now we'll do this beige. What do you guys think of the color combinations? With the navy, the beige, and blue.
Cheryl says, your hair looks cute in an updo.
Thank you.
She's got her earrings on and her nails done. She looks beautiful.
Oh, thanks. This is just, I don't know. It's like the bottom half is casual and the upper half is dressed up. And no, I'm not in pajamas, but I do have my tennis shoes and jeans on. So these are both 4.5 inches. I don't have to measure the beige because the bottom one's already set to the 4.5 inches. So I just go ahead and put your fingers in, give it a pull, and then we just need to make sure that our tails are at the right length, which is 8.5 inch for the tails and 4.5 inch loop.
She said, love how you're so neat and organized. Audrey said, I'm liking the colors, so pretty.
Thank you.
And then said, love the navy and tan. Yeah, she also said, I like the color combo.
I had, here it is. I was going to say, I had a pin. I'm trying to be better organized. Let's just put it that way.
All the girls said they love how you're organized.
And
Jolene totally understands. She says, I can't wait till I can make these again instead of sitting here watching. She just had a knee replacement, so. Yeah, you and
Gail.
our other friend Gail always have them. She's having a lot of problems with her knees.
I'm trying to move those. I broke the head off my pin, so I don't want that going anywhere. Okay. So let's put a clean cut on this.
Then yeah, the mesh is cut to 20 inches.
That takes you through the entire roll of mesh. Okay, so this one's going to be 8-inch tails with 4-inch loops. You can kind of eyeball them, because once you start getting into understanding where your lengths are and where a 1/2 inch is, looking at the ribbon below it, you can kind of bring it in to where you think it is, and then just double check it and make sure you're on your mark. And then 8 inches.
Yeah, so yeah, the struggle is real when it comes to the knee. Yeah.
I know. And that's the thing, right? I'm like, man, if I ever had to have my knee replaced based on everything you've gone through, I'm like, I don't think I would do it. But then there's people who have great success.
I mean, yeah, I've had a lot of surgeries on both my knees.
Right? Okay. So on this one in particular, we're going to be using a flex tubing. It's called Snowdrift. So I'm actually going to incorporate some Snowdrift into my bow as well. So on this one, because it's stretchy, you don't want to pull it. So I'm going to let this one just kind of loop in here.
And that is from Craft Outlet.
What?
The Deco tubing.
Yeah. It's a Snowdrift tube.
Sure, so now that I've learned to make bows your way, I can't use the other bow makers.
Yes, you can. You can use the Easy Bow Maker.
She probably just got so used to it, it's harder for her to do it on other ones.
Those will be challenges.
The pro bow is difficult.
Pro bow is challenging. It makes a perfect bow, but So the last one, this is just going to be a 7.5-inch tail with a 3.5-inch loop. I actually like this ribbon because it feels kind of rubber coated in a way, like waterproof, which is interesting because it's got a wave print on it. And this is the first time I'm using this ribbon since I bought it. I bought it to do my beach wreaths, but never got around to using it. Okay, right here. Okay, there's that one. You can see that it's very well packed in there. Okay. There we go. Now we need a pipe cleaner. Let's use blue. All right. So we lift the entire stack out of the Bodabra. Keep it sandwiched together like you're holding a club sandwich that's like 3 layers thick. And really squeeze it down. And then hold your pipe cleaner in your hand and just spin the stack of ribbon. It's so much easier on your hands. Then just move this so it's not in the way. Now I use a cutting board that I've modified with Steve's help into a fluff board. I like weight, so this is an 18 by 24 inch by 3/4 inch. You can go to Home Depot and Lowe's. They have these pre-cut at 24 by 24 by inch thick. You just go get a C-hook that's about 1 inch to 1.5 inches long and screw it into the wood and you're ready to go. I just like having flat surface. So now I'm just going to hook my pipe cleaner into the wood. Are you zoomed in? Okay. So what you're doing in the fluffing process is I don't fluff yet, I separate. So you're separating your top stack from your bottom stack starting at the bottom. So you lift these up and you're gonna go a tail and a loop. So you're just gonna kind of pose those like opposite sides, go over to the other side and find the exact same colors and you're gonna pull them in opposite directions. So we have a tail over here and a loop over here. Don't worry about the stack in the middle because that's gonna kind of shift left or right, but you wanna make sure that your loops are on opposite sides and your tails are on opposite sides. And then you're gonna go back to your next one and you're gonna do a loop on this side, tail on this side, go to the other side. We're gonna grab tail and our loop. And what this does is it staggers the colors so that you don't have any one particular ribbon next to the same color. So it breaks it up. And then you're gonna simply do the same as you work down. You're just gonna follow your pattern. Go back over to the other side. Loop and tail. I'm gonna grab these ones. Opposites. Go over to the other side. Opposites. We're going to grab our striped, stripe, and then we're going to grab this one as best as we can without really stretching it out. There's really not much you can do with your flex tubing. And then we're going to finish it off by going this direction. I'm trying to get my fingers in them, and then this direction. Once you get everything separated, then you can start fluffing. That's when you get to pick and pull all your tails to the sides as best as you can. And then you can pick what colors you want to go in between all the others. And then that's how you will fluff. And then do the same thing on the other side. Make sure you open up all the loops. Put your fingers in them, open them up, so that you have a great looking bow. Okay, now we're just gonna pop this off the C-hook. And on my wreath, the reason why I picked the ruffle method is it's flat and wide. So with a very large, wide sign and a bow, I'm going to incorporate one of the interior spaces for my bow.
And it's wavy.
What?
Like a lake.
Yeah, it's wavy like the lake. And then I'm going to go ahead and make sure that my loops are facing towards the inside. So this way, if you want to lay your sign kind of this way, kind of off to the side, you don't have the tails overlapping all the words on the sign. And you don't want to pull all the way down, because that will collapse your bow that you just spent all that time fluffing. Okay. And then you can just rearrange things the way you like. Okay.
Give it lots of likes and loves. Gal's saying beautiful bow.
And now we're going to go ahead and attach our sign, which, because this is a 1/4 inch MDF or a 1/4 inch wood, you can use a staple gun to secure this. I am going to use white on my sign. This way it's easier for me to see it. So I'm going to go right up here to the top. I'm going to kind of go under the loop, or under the twine that's added to my sign. Sorry, it's so loud. We're going to go ahead and give it a twist just to make sure they don't slide out. Go right underneath this. We just kind of pull our rope down. And give it another twist.
Kate said blue is her favorite color, so she's loving that.
Aww. Okay, so now you get to pick how you want your sign to be. So I'm just playing with where I want it to wind up. I think I want it pretty much right about here. So let me just flip these so they're laying right where I want them to be. So it's kind of, it's not really up to the corner, it's just kind of off to the side. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and work my pipe cleaners down, bring my mesh to the frame. Don't pull too hard just yet, because you may have to adjust your sign, so just give it like 1 or 2 twists just to make sure it's where you want it to be. Once again, it's taking up the exact same locations with my internal pipe cleaners that I had. Okay. And I'm liking where the sign is winding up. Making sure it's not really impacting the words on my sign.
Poor cat.
What?
Looks like he's gonna.
Oh no. Not again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tanya asked, what will you price this design at?
This design is at $80, so it has $25 FedEx shipping. And the listing is actually already up on my website if you guys are interested. It just has a picture of the sign. So once we finish, this is ready to ship. So I'm just going to go ahead and readjust my bow. And these, I think, are the lake rules that people could actually live by, which just says, wake up smiling, soak up the sun, sip a cold drink, listen to the waves, leave the sand at the lake, take a nap, make memories, daydream, stargaze, unwind, spend time with your loved ones. So it's a perfect item to actually, you know, put on a mountain cabin or what is it, lake cottage. So now we're going to go around to the outside. And
okay. He said she also ordered that staple gun from Amazon because you recommended it and she loves it.
Such an awesome staple gun because it's ergonomically correct. You're not lifting up, you're pushing down, and it just saves your hands. I'm all about that. So we're going to, I have these separated in the 2.5-inch lengths. We're going to alternate the colors. 14-inch long. They're already dovetailed because you guys don't need to see me dovetail anymore. So we're going to go all the way around, and I just pinch these together. They're going to go right in to the outside 12. And we just fan them out so that it'll tie all those colors from the sign and the bow right into this finished design. I always fold them in half just because it's easier for me to find the exact middle or midway point on my ribbons. This way I'm not just eyeballing it or guessing. I actually know where middle is. It just creates a very neat effect. And back to the outside.
And Jean said beautiful bow, of course, with awesome machine matching ribbons.
Oh, thanks, Jean. This design just kind of self-evolved. It's like as I walked in, I'm like, found the ribbons, no problem. I think I had 2 or 3 other choices. Like I wasn't sure if I wanted to do blue jeans because I was thinking blue jeans, lake, shorts. But I fell in love with this, and this is a really heavy duty canvas, and it feels like it's weatherproof, like it's got a coating on it, which would make it nice for the weather. Okay. Take this all the way around, and I was trying to think of something else to do besides tails, half bows. I wasn't sure if I wanted double bows on this, and then I remembered I had that snowdrift flex tubing, and I thought it's kind of like similar to the rope around the sign, so I opted to go with that.
And she got the sign from Target, but she got it a while ago. She's had it for a while.
My daughter picks up these random signs wherever she goes, and she brings them on her trips up. She's like, look, I bought you signs. It's like, okay, I need to incorporate those into wreaths. Otherwise, you become overrun by signs.
I was actually at Big Lots the other week, and they had some really pretty ship's wheels and signs.
Yes, yeah, we're definitely going to head over to Big Lots. Steve sent me pictures. He's like, look at what Big Lots has for summer. I was like, we're going to have to go back over there. I'll have to check prices and see. Like, because you have to look for size to see whether or not those are going to be too big. But they'd be super cute.
Yeah, the wheels, the ship's wheels, they look like to be at least 10 to 12 inches, so they look pretty big.
And it's funny because I pulled up a lake wreath I did in 2019, and I put could be personalized. And so I was thinking, like, when you were talking about the ship's wheels, right, that you almost couldn't use a sign. But if the ship's wheel has flat, like if it's got flat ring around the outside, you could personalize it.
Yeah, you could paint on each spoke or something.
No, not on the spokes. The rim that goes around the outside, you could put like Smith, Lakehouse, or Smith Established, whatever.
Yeah, it says love big lots signs.
See, we need to go. Okay, just a couple more. This one's really thick. So I'm getting up underneath the bow.
Happy Friday, everybody watching.
Okay, last 2.5 inch.
Hi Scarlett, hi gals just joining.
Yay! Hopefully this will get you guys in the mood for summer, or get you starting to plan for your summer vacations. A lake trip. So I have the 18-inch, 1.5 inch, the beige with the white circle polka dots. These we're just going to do half bows, and these are going right on top of our beige and our blue. So a half bow simply means bring your wired edges, the tails together, go up to about 2 inches and kind of pinch the tops. So literally it's 2 inches, and then you're going to add these right in to your, let me get this secured in so I can show you. Are you zoomed in?
Yep.
Okay. So like right here, I just went in and added that in to my 2.5. You're going to open up the loop. You're going to have to adjust one of your tails because they're both back to back. And then you're just going to fan these out. And then we're going to come in with the wire cutters. We're going to snip this off. You're going to bring it behind, and then you're just going to open those up. This way you can still see both. And that's what's called a half bow. So we're going to put those on all the blue and beige. Go over here. We'll start over here so I don't forget. Oops. So I'm adding them in and snipping my pipe cleaners off. There are truly so many other different designs you could have opted with this. If you're really good at making knots, you could just go buy twine and make a whole bunch of really cute little knots. Yeah, and add that to your design. I'm just not a knot maker. I guess I could learn, right?
You could Google and YouTube anything now, right?
That's true. I'll just save the design.
All the 1.5 inch bows, Laura, are 18 inches.
Yeah. I want them to basically be almost the same length as the 2.5, but it's not quite. That way it complements.
Jolene, ours is too. Both of our bathrooms are pretty much beach themed.
Mm-hmm.
Like blues and aquas and
This would look great over guest bedroom bed on the wall.
Yeah.
If you have a lake theme or an office. And then I'll give you the finished dimensions on this one as well, once we're all done. Okay. Keep hearing the pipe cleaner.
yeah.
Pipe cleaner for the bow.
You said hi, Kat. Beautiful as always.
Oh, thank you. You already got Laura's. I saw Jolene. So yours must be going before mine because I don't see that comment.
Yeah.
So we have so much blue that I'm coming in and now just accenting that with the beige to kind of bring the sign colors into the rest of the design.
Hi, Jane. She said, hi, beautiful.
Hi, Jane. Okay.
Definitely talking to you.
They can't see you.
Yes, it's so beautiful and vibrant with those colors.
All right. Now we're going to come in with our snowdrift mesh, and we're going to create little bundles, and those are going to go in on our blue and tan as soon as I can find the end.
It also looks like rope.
Yeah, it looks like rope. So I'm just taking little bundles like this. They're about 2 inches on the loop side. So I just did 2 on each side. I'm adding these right into my pipe cleaners. Give them a couple twists and then snip those off. It'll just kind of give it a different look and feel. That's what it ends up looking like. Okay, and I think my tails are about 3 inches long. Yeah.
Jean said, I love the tubing. It looks terrific.
It's so soft too.
Marley said, love to watch. Gives me inspiration to make wreaths.
So do I. I love watching. And I'm like, oh, those are interesting colors I would have never thought to put together. Okay. Make sure. You kind of just get it going with your loops. If you've made enough Deco mesh tubing loops, kind of know where 2 to 3 inches is. Anything bigger just looks way out of like size. Looks a little too big.
Thank you, Kathy. She said, really beautiful as always.
Thank you. Sure,
Sharon asked exactly where are the new little bundles going?
On the blue and cream plaid. So just the blue ribbons. Remember we added the 1.5 inches to our blue and tan.
Right.
So we're adding the bundles to the blue.
So your 1.5 inches are every other one, and then the Deco tubing is in between that.
Pretty much, but it's just like wherever the 1.5 inches isn't. So I just, ahead of time, I figured out what ribbon was going to go on top of which. Like I already knew that the beige was going to go on top of the blue and beige. And then I was like, ooh, so what will go on top of the plaid? Something that doesn't really take too much away from the plaid, but still gives something different. Like you could have used just regular jute tubing on here and that would have looked really pretty. And the jute tubing is just like this, but without the white.
Right, Blanche? She said it really looks like boat rope. It does.
It does.
Tubing.
Yeah. And I know I was looking to see if they had any that was blue and white. And no, they don't. And believe it or not, this tubing is still available on Craft Outlet. So before we went live, I just double checked. You get 20 yards of it, I think for like $6.50. So not too bad.
That's not bad, yeah.
Because most of the ribbon we buy, you know, we only get 10 yards for like $5 or $6. So this kind of, it just gives it a different look. Couple more. Making sure I've hit all my pieces. I haven't skipped any. I'm trying to straighten out my bow tails as I'm going.
Blanche says, I'm buying a Deco tubing for sure. Thanks for the tip.
And get the regular jute one too, without the snowdrift. I think they have that one. You'll use that on everything because it looks like true rope. And yeah.
So that one's called that you're using snowdrift.
Snowdrift.
Jute and beige.
Yep.
Tubing.
Okay. I had it. There we go. I pulled off a piece that was a little too short. He'll just get used for a different design. Okay, last one.
Hey Mary, no problem. She said late. We'll watch the replay.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I'm pretty much done. So, yeah, replay will be available as soon as we finish.
Irvina. This craft outlet always tells me that I can't tell if I'm a robot. Drives me nuts.
I'm so sorry. Okay. Ready? Let's see what this looks like on the door. See, look, I'm not wearing pajamas. I have jeans. Okay. So, standard door. I didn't give you guys the dimensions really quick. Probably should do that. So, taking photos, the things most people forget. Straighten your bows. Give your bow some love, which means if you cut those dovetails, you don't want to see them bent. You want to see everything nice and crisp, just like everything's been ironed. Open your loops. If you have loops, make sure your bow looks gorgeous, because you only get one chance to make that first impression, and we want to make sure the impression is a positive one. So same thing, even as you go around the top, make sure everything has some love, just like so. And I kind of like it tilted to the side. That's as
Yeah, I do too.
So there you guys go. What do you think? I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's very rustic. It's not over the top glittery. I think because it doesn't take away, like nothing takes away from, it's not competing with the sign at all. See?
And the wreath is already up for sale on your
website.
On the website.
So KatsCreationsNMore.com, just look for the sign. Because obviously I'm not going to know what it looks like until we create it. But there you guys have it. Short and sweet. Let me give you guys the dimensions finished. I'm guessing it's a 25.
Yeah, I think probably 24.
25 inches in diameter. And then the top bow, probably like 5.5, 6 inches from here to the bottom. Definitely not a storm door one, but it works nonetheless.
So it'll still probably fit in a 24 by 24 by 6.
Oh yeah, it'll fit. Yeah, up to 26 inches will fit in a 24 6-inch box. Yeah. So I try to keep all my designs within that price point, because anything above and beyond that is just going to outprice it. You know, I've had people ask for 48-inch wreaths or 36. I'm like, honestly, unless you're local, shipping is just not going to be worth it. Just because we don't do high enough volume to give us a deep, deep discount. So, what questions do you guys have that I can answer for you?
It's beautiful. Love all the colors. Like you said, I love the simplicity of it. Those are my favorites. Great job.
Thank you. Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining me. Have an exceptional weekend. Don't forget we come back Sunday at 6 in the public group, and I will have another cool, exciting design to show you then. Thanks for joining me. Have a great night.